Same thing with the Dom Hoy inverter welder. So it looks like it comes with some flux core wire, and that is 1 millimeter by 0.25 kilograms. And that does come sealed. Got a bunch of extra nozzles, a bunch of extra tips, and these are all 1.0 tips. Here we got our MIG gun. It does have a plastic handle, fairly good feeling trigger. We got a hanging hook, has a nozzle already attached, and we already have a tip on there. And that is also a 1.0 tip. So all the tips with this are 1.0. This is a standard twist style lock. It has a hole in the center, so the wire is going to feed in through the center. And then we got a 2-pin connector for our control. We got our work clamp that also has a twist style lock. No braiding or anything fancy. It is just a grounding clamp. We got a cross pattern in there for holding our stick and also a twist style lock. Got our instructions. Nice thick power cord on there. And here is our welder. This one actually has something that you don't normally see. It actually has an aluminum handle on the top. Most of these handles are plastic. We do have active cooling on the back. We got our power switch. There is not a port for gas on here because this is a flux core welder. We have instructions on the cover to let us know exactly how we want to plug this guy in. So it says if we're going to be running stick, we want to have the ground clamp going into the negative and the sticker going to the positive. We're going to be running TIG. We want the grounding clamp going into the positive, and same for the MIG. So there is our interface. We do have everything labeled, so we know exactly which is positive and negative. This is our controller, and this is going to be for our MIG gun. Simple twist knob on the top, and a button to adjust our process. So I want to install our wire. And there is our wire. Now for this machine, the wire is going to be feeding from the bottom, so we want the roll to be going counterclockwise. So let's pop the tension, open up the bearing, and check our wheel. So our wheel does have 2 slots. We got a 1.0 on that side, and we got a 0.8 on that side. We're using 1 millimeter wire, so we want the 1.0 facing out. It's a good idea when you're doing this to use needle nose pliers because you do not want to let go of this wire. Now I do have a bend in there. I want to make sure that everything I'm putting through is going to be nice and straight, so I'm going to cut that off. So I just want to feed that in and send that out the front. Okay, so you can see we got the wire coming out the front now. Going to drop the bearing and drop the tensioner. I do have a slight bend on that wire now, so I'm going to cut that off again. Then I can feed the MIG onto that wire and lock that in. And while I'm at it, I'm going to connect the control. So right now we're on arc. If we press in on this button, we can change that to flux core. This is 0.8. And then we got 1.0. We're using 1.0 wires, so that's what I'm going to be using. We keep on cycling through that. We got TIG. And back to arc. So right now we're on amps. If we adjust it, it will adjust everything because we got SYN, so everything is synchronized. If we press and hold, we can turn off synchronized, so we can adjust it independently. So it is nice having a welder where we actually have full control over it. Most of these synchronized welders, you do not have that option. If you want to change from amps, we got wire speed, and we got volts. Then we got 2T. If you want to change that, we also have 4T. I'm going to keep that on 2T, and I'm going to keep it synchronized. So what I want to do now is I want to stretch out this cable so it is as straight as I can get it, and I'm going to press and hold the trigger. I want to make sure that nothing binds up in there. And we have got our wire. So now we can put on our tip and our nozzle. One thing I can definitely say is the wire that's in there is pretty stinky. There's a bead. Let me go ahead and hit that with a wire wheel real quick. Kind of hard to see, but it's right there in between the 2 beads on the sides. So that would hold some metal together. there we go. That is 150 amps. That actually works pretty well. So overall, that will hold metal together.